Hi everyone, it's Rob Schmidt. I'm here to show you my latest build, the Dumas Mr. Darby tugboat. It's a model of a 150-foot tugboat, which was built in 1977 and is still in existence today. It runs under the name Atlantic Salver out of the port of Newark in New Jersey. And I was fortunate enough several years ago to get to see the real boat and got a quick tour of it, so it was real exciting and helps with the build process. But let me show you the boat today. The hull basically is a fiberglass hull, and the entire superstructure and deck is all wood. I spent about 8 years building this model, and the railings, as you can see on here, are all soldered with silver solder. I did put a bow thruster on the boat. It's a Marks 12-volt bow thruster, which is not part of the kit, but I added that because the real boat had one, and the functionality would be real exciting on the water. As you can see here, I got the 2 radar units. This one does not spin remotely, but this one here above the bridge is linked to a continuous rotation servo, which turns that radar. All the railings on here were built by me as well and soldered together. Here's the crane house back here. You can see the pipes I put on here just to kind of put a load on the back of the boat, and what it actually does is hides the seam for the hatch. And in the stern of the boat you can see the twin propellers. This is a dual motor, twin rudder, twin propeller model. They're 4-inch diameter bronze props. And the 2 motors are 12-volt MFA motors. They're belt driven, geared 3-to-1 motors. And what I'll do is I'll show you the inside of the boat next. So basically this hatch lifts out, and you can see how I've got my electronics laid out. So I've got 2 12-volt batteries in here, 2 electronic speed controls, 1 for each motor. I've got a servo here, a waterproof servo for the 2 rudders, and then my tactic receiver. And then I have a Viper 15 amp speed control for the bow thruster. The main engine speed controls are Vipers as well, 40 amp each. What I'm going to show you next is what the inside of the boat looks like. And I'll show you here what I've got in front of me. The radio I chose to use for this model is a Tactic TTX 650. It's a 4-channel radio. So how I've got it set up with the 2 speed controls, I've got independent control of each motor on each joystick. So I can have both motors forward, or one forward, one reverse, to make the boat turn in its own length. Now I'll lift the cabin off and show you what it looks like inside. So what I'm powering the boat with are 2 12-volt motors, 2 12-volt batteries hooked to 2 12-volt motors. You can see the motors down in there a little bit. They're kind of hidden because they're directly under the superstructure. These are the 12-volt batteries that I'm using for this particular model. I've got 2 of these because we have 2 independent systems, 1 for each motor, and these just set right in there like that. And then I've got a small 12-volt battery which is used for the bow thruster, and that sets right up in the front there. I also have about 15 to 20 pounds of lead which will go in the hull to bring it down to the waterline. I also was able to put in the model a tugboat horn, and if you can see it right over here on this side, there's a little brown box here, and there's the speaker in there, and that's linked to the rudder servo right here. So when I move the rudder hard left, it actually presses the button, and you'll be able to hear it here in just a moment. So that's kind of neat. It gives it a little bit of sound animation. And then I'll set this back on top again. That wire hanging there is the wire that I use to connect up the continuous rotating servo for the radar and the bridge. The paint that I used on the model was just spray cans of Krylon gray, black, and red. And everything was pretty much sprayed on the boat. I did do a little custom work on the anchor windlass system here. Based on seeing the real model, I was able to put a guide, chain guide in here, and then the exact hole, the way the chain goes down into the hull, was custom made by me based on seeing the real boat and how it was laid out. I hope you like this video, and the next video is going to be with the boat in the water. So it has not taken its maiden voyage yet, but hopefully within the next week or two it will have its maiden voyage, and stay tuned for that video. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and have a great day.